The Galactic Council, an alliance of powerful alien races, controls the fate of countless star systems across the galaxy. With technology far beyond Earth's capabilities, they hold all the power. The Council is made up of alien species whose cities float in the skies of distant worlds, their fleets capable of traveling through space in the blink of an eye. In their eyes, humanity is just a small, struggling species trying to hold on to what little it has left. For years, Earth has been trying to regain a seat of respect in this galactic community. After the fall of several human colonies in deep space, Earth has been trying to rebuild its influence. They've faced threats from alien factions who see humans as weak, vulnerable, and easily exploited. But Earth is resilient, and they've finally gathered enough evidence to expose these alien factions and their brutal treatment of human colonies. The evidence has been carefully collected, researched, and verified. Earth is ready to present its case to the Galactic Council, hoping to finally earn their respect and put an end to the suffering of their people. The summit begins on a large, imposing station at the heart of the Galactic Council, a place where all the galaxy's most powerful beings gather. Humans, along with diplomats from other species, step onto the massive stage to address the Council. Earth's top diplomat, Ambassador Sarah Holden, is chosen to present humanity's case. She stands tall, looking out over the massive crowd of alien representatives. The room is filled with creatures of all shapes and sizes, some with long, tentacle-like arms, others with towering mechanical bodies, and some who appear as glowing energy beings. Ambassador Holden opens the meeting with a calm voice, but her eyes burn with the anger she's kept hidden for years. She starts by displaying images of Earth's distant colonies, once thriving centers of human life, now destroyed by ruthless alien factions. She shows footage of human civilians being enslaved, planets being bombarded, and entire populations being wiped out. The evidence is undeniable, and for a moment, it seems like the Council might take the matter seriously. But as she speaks, the representatives of the Galactic Council show no sympathy. Instead of the expected solidarity or even concern, laughter fills the hall. The alien leaders mock Earth's claims, calling the human colonies insignificant and their suffering a minor inconvenience. One representative, a large insectoid alien with a cruel, sharp voice, scoffs at the presentation, saying, "These primitive creatures dare to challenge us. Their cries for help are laughable." Ambassador Holden's face flushes with anger, but she doesn't back down. She presses on, trying to make them see reason, trying to explain that Earth has tried to seek peace and diplomacy for years, but has been ignored. But her words fall on deaf ears. The Council's members continue to belittle her and her people, making snide remarks and openly mocking the human race. The humiliation reaches its peak when one of the Council's leaders, an AI being with no physical form but a vast intelligence, declares, "Humanity's time has passed. You are an outdated species, holding on to an ancient history. There is no place for you here in the galaxy." The members of the Council continue to laugh, clearly enjoying their power over Earth. Ambassador Holden feels her heart race as the weight of the humiliation presses down on her shoulders. She knows this is not just an attack on her personally, but on all of humanity. This is the final straw, the insult that pushes humanity to the edge. As she stands there, humiliated in front of the galaxy's most powerful beings, she knows that Earth has been dismissed. The Council has made it clear that they see humanity as nothing more than a nuisance. They will continue to abuse human colonies, and Earth will have no say in the matter. But deep inside, a fire begins to burn in Ambassador Holden's chest. It's a fire of rage, of determination. She knows that humanity cannot stay weak any longer. If they want to be taken seriously, they will have to fight back. As the Council begins to wrap up the summit, one of the human delegates, a quiet man who had been standing in the back of the room, steps forward. His face is calm, but his voice is steady and filled with resolve. "If they think we're weak, they haven't seen anything yet," he says, loud enough for everyone in the room to hear. For a moment, the room goes silent. The council members stop laughing, their attention shifting toward the human delegate. There is an eerie stillness as the weight of his words hangs in the air. No one knows what to expect next. The tension is palpable. Ambassador Holden and the other delegates exchange knowing glances. The silent message is clear: Earth may be humiliated, but they are not done. As the summit comes to a close, the humans quietly leave the room, their heads held high despite the crushing defeat they've just experienced. They know that the Galactic Council has made a grave mistake. Underestimating humanity may be the last error the Council ever makes. The camera lingers on Ambassador Holden's face, showing the fire in her eyes. This is not the end of humanity's story in the galaxy, it's only the beginning. The audience is left in suspense, wondering what the humans will do next. Will they seek revenge? Will they fight back? And how far will they go to prove that they are not to be underestimated? The hook leaves viewers on the edge of their seats, eager to see what happens next. The humiliation at the hands of the Galactic Council ignited a fire deep within the hearts of Earth's people. The whole planet felt the sting of the insults, the ridicule. But instead of crumbling, humanity found strength in the anger and shame they had endured. They knew they had been dismissed as weak, but they also knew that their survival depended on proving the aliens wrong. The time for diplomacy was over. The time for action had come. Secretly, world leaders, scientists, and military strategists gathered in hidden underground bunkers, far from the eyes of the public and the watchful gaze of alien spies. These meetings were kept in the strictest secrecy. Humanity's fate rested on the decisions made here. They formed a new unified force, an alliance of nations with one common goal: to prove that Earth was not to be underestimated. They would show the Galactic Council that no matter how technologically advanced the aliens were, they had underestimated the resilience and determination of humankind. The leaders of the world realized they couldn't waste time. Earth had been behind in technology for years, but now it was a matter of survival. If they didn't act quickly, they could lose everything. The task was immense. They needed to rapidly develop advanced weapons, new warships, and high-tech defenses. No longer would they rely on outdated technology. Earth needed to catch up with the aliens' superior capabilities, and they needed to do it fast. Scientists and engineers from every corner of the globe were brought together to work day and night. The Secret War Council poured all of Earth's resources into this new war effort. They began designing massive warships, ships that could rival the ones of the Galactic Council. The designs were revolutionary, using cutting-edge materials and advanced AI systems. These ships would be the backbone of Earth's fleet. They would have weapons that could strike with precision, shields strong enough to withstand alien firepower, and cloaking technology that would make them invisible to alien scanners. Earth was preparing to fight a war, and they were determined to be ready. The battle robots that had once been used for manual labor on Earth's colonies were now being re-engineered for combat. These robots were not just machines, they would be soldiers in the fight for humanity's survival. Equipped with advanced weaponry, enhanced armor, and artificial intelligence, these battle robots would join the fight alongside human forces. They would move with the precision and power of an army, never tiring, never stopping, and always adapting to the enemy's tactics. The sheer scale of the human effort to prepare for war was staggering, and the world watched, holding its breath. While the military worked on the new warships and robots, intelligence agents and hackers were focused on another critical task: gathering intelligence on the Galactic Council's weaknesses. Earth had learned from its previous mistakes. Diplomacy had failed, but it didn't mean the humans couldn't use their brains. They had to know everything about their enemies, how their technology worked, where their fleets were stationed, and how best to strike. Earth's best and brightest minds worked together to create sophisticated hacking tools, decrypting alien communication channels, and monitoring the movements of the Galactic Council's forces. The humans needed to know when and where the Council would strike next so they could plan their counterattack. But Earth wasn't just relying on technology to win the war, they were also tapping into something far more important: the spirit of unity. The humiliation they had suffered brought people from every nation together. No longer did borders matter. No longer did petty differences between countries hold any meaning. The people of Earth had one goal: survival. They knew they had to stand together, fight together, and work as one to succeed. It was humanity's last chance to prove their worth to the galaxy. The pressure was immense, and the clock was ticking. Every day brought new challenges. Engineers worked around the clock, testing new technologies, making last-minute adjustments to the warships, and perfecting the cloaking devices. Military leaders trained troops for combat, preparing them for the day when the Galactic Council's forces would come for Earth. Civilians, once ignorant of the true danger they faced, began to understand the gravity of the situation. They volunteered for military service, donated supplies, and helped in any way they could. Earth's economy shifted entirely to war production, with factories churning out weapons, ships, and robots at an unprecedented rate. But even as the preparations advanced, there was a growing sense of unease. The human leaders knew that every step they took could be their last. If they failed to build their forces quickly enough, the Council would strike first, and Earth would be left with no way to defend itself. The stakes couldn't be higher. They couldn't afford to make mistakes. The pressure on Earth's new war council was unimaginable, but it was a pressure that brought out the best in humanity. They had faced humiliation, yes, but they had also found something that could never be taken away from them: determination. The preparations were reaching their final stages. The warships were ready, the robots programmed, and the intelligence gathered. Earth's forces were now poised to strike. The moment of truth had arrived. But as the humans prepared for war, they also realized something important: they were not just fighting for survival anymore. They were fighting for something much greater. This war wasn't just about proving their strength to the Galactic Council. It was about showing the universe that humanity would never be pushed aside, that they would fight until the very last breath to protect their people, their planet, and their future. As the final pieces of the plan fell into place, a new sense of unity spread across Earth. The people, once divided, now stood together, ready to face whatever the galaxy threw at them. The tension in the air was thick, and the weight of their decision hung over them. But there was no turning back now. The time for diplomacy was over. Earth had declared war. The stage was set for the coming battle. Humanity had one chance, one shot to prove themselves to the Galactic Council. Would they succeed, or would they be crushed under the weight of their own ambition? The preparation was complete, and the fate of the galaxy rested on the shoulders of humanity. The Galactic Council, still reeling from its humiliation of Earth, had finally decided to make its move. They sent a massive fleet of advanced warships to remind Earth of its place in the galaxy. The alien forces were confident that their superior technology and strength would crush any attempts at resistance. The humans were weak, the Council believed, and any actions they took would be futile. The fleet, led by the most powerful ships in the galaxy, was poised to strike at Earth, expecting no real opposition. But what the Galactic Council didn't know was that Earth was ready. Behind closed doors, the humans had prepared for this very moment. They had spent months developing cutting-edge technologies and strategizing their response. The cloak that would make their warships invisible to the Council's sensors was now perfected. Earth's fleet, although smaller in number and seemingly outdated compared to the alien ships, had one advantage: the element of surprise. As the Council's fleet entered Earth's solar system, their ships glided effortlessly through the stars, confident that no force on Earth could stand in their way. Their superior weapons and advanced shields were designed to overwhelm any resistance. The Council's commanders laughed among themselves, knowing that their mission would be quick and decisive. They were coming to remind the humans of their place, not to face a real fight. But they were wrong. At the edge of the solar system, Earth's warships, cloaked and hidden from view, waited in silence. The massive fleet of alien ships passed by without noticing a single sign of life. It was a moment of calm before the storm. Then, without warning, the humans struck. The cloaking devices worked perfectly, making Earth's ships invisible to the alien fleet sensors. From the darkness of space, Earth's warships launched their first volley of missiles. The missiles streaked across the vacuum of space, faster than the eye could follow, but the Council's ships, accustomed to dealing with lesser threats, were caught completely off guard. They never saw it coming. The first alien ship exploded in a brilliant burst of light. The shockwave of the explosion sent ripples through the surrounding space, lighting up the cold expanse with the flash of destruction. The humans had made their move, and they weren't holding back. The remaining alien ships scrambled to react, but they were unprepared for the speed and precision of Earth's strike. Each missile was targeted to disable a specific weak spot on the ships, causing chaos in the enemy fleet. The humans, using guerrilla tactics, picked off ship after ship, exploiting the alien fleet's blind spots. The speed and unpredictability of the attack caught the Council's forces completely off guard. These were not the tactics they expected from Earth's forces. The humans, though technologically inferior in many ways, were using their ingenuity to turn the tide of battle in their favor. Their strategy was simple: hit hard, hit fast, and disappear before the enemy could respond. The visual of Earth's warships cloaked in the darkness of space, moving like shadows, was chilling. It was as if the humans had become ghosts, slipping in and out of sight with deadly precision. Each ship's missile strike was accompanied by a flash of light, a brief moment of terror for the alien forces before their vessel was disabled or destroyed. The cinematic beauty of the scene, the explosion of colors as missiles hit their marks, the eerie silence of space punctuated by the soundless blast of destruction, created a sense of suspense that kept the audience on edge. As the human warships continued their assault, they used their advanced cloaking technology to keep their movements unpredictable. Every time the Council's ships thought they had found them, the humans would vanish again, only to strike from a different angle. The tactics were working. Earth's fleet, once thought to be inferior, was now dominating the battlefield. The alien fleet, although technologically superior, was struggling to defend itself against such a ferocious and unpredictable enemy. The humans were not just fighting with advanced technology, they were fighting with their wits. They used every advantage they could: speed, surprise, and strategy. The alien fleet was larger, yes, but the humans had been underestimated. Earth's forces were relentless, striking with precision and efficiency. Every shot fired, every explosion, was a reminder to the Galactic Council that humanity was not a species to be taken lightly. The first wave of the battle was a success, but the fight was far from over. The Council's commanders, now shaken, scrambled to reorganize their forces. They began to understand that this wasn't going to be the easy victory they had expected. The humans had shown them something they hadn't counted on: resilience. The remaining alien ships quickly formed defensive formations, focusing on counterattacking the humans. They realized that they couldn't afford to underestimate humanity any longer. But even as the Council regrouped, the humans didn't let up. Earth's fleet continued to strike at the heart of the alien forces, exploiting their weaknesses, and using the element of surprise to keep them off balance. Each moment brought a new sense of urgency as the humans pressed their advantage, pushing the alien fleet to the edge of defeat. The suspense was building. Would Earth's forces be able to maintain the upper hand, or would the Council's superior numbers and firepower eventually overwhelm them? With every missile launched, with every explosion, the stakes grew higher. The war was on, and Earth had just made its mark. The Galactic Council had learned a harsh lesson: Earth was not as weak as they thought. The battle raged on, but the first strike had been a resounding success. The humans had proven that they were capable of fighting back, and they had sent a powerful message to the Galactic Council: humanity was not to be underestimated. The war was just beginning, but Earth had already won the first victory in what would become a fight for survival. The Galactic Council, seething with anger after the humiliation of their fleet, decided that it was time to respond. Earth had dared to strike back and challenge their authority. Such audacity could not be allowed to stand. The Council, once confident in their technological superiority, now realized that they were facing a formidable foe. The humans had proven themselves capable of far more than they had anticipated. In response to Earth's surprise attack, the Galactic Council unleashed its greatest weapons, AI-controlled androids and massive warships, each one more advanced than anything Earth could dream of. These warships were equipped with energy shields that could withstand even the most powerful strikes, and their weaponry was capable of obliterating entire fleets with a single shot. The androids, perfect soldiers created by the most advanced AI systems, were virtually unstoppable in battle. Their strength, speed, and precision made them nearly invincible. The Council was sure that this overwhelming force would crush the humans once and for all. But the humans were not about to back down. They knew that their technology could never match the sheer firepower of the Council's fleet. But they also knew something the aliens didn't: they were quick learners. Over the months since the surprise attack, Earth scientists had studied the alien technology in secret. Using their ingenuity, they managed to turn their own weaknesses into strengths. They adapted alien weaponry and shields to fit their own needs, creating a new generation of warships and weapons that could go toe-to-toe with the might of the Galactic Council. The tension was palpable as the war escalated. The humans were no longer hiding in the shadows, waiting for a chance to strike. They were fighting back fiercely, refusing to let the Galactic Council dominate them. With every new weapon they deployed and every new strategy they employed, Earth's forces grew more confident. Their resolve to win this war was unshakable. The Galactic Council responded with even greater fury, unleashing wave after wave of attacks. The battlefields of space became a theater of chaos. Huge warships exchanged laser fire in violent displays of light, while small, agile ships darted through the chaos, taking down vulnerable targets. The humans fought with everything they had, using their knowledge of alien technology to create weapons that leveled the playing field. The human fleet, once outgunned and outmatched, was now in a position to go toe-to-toe with the might of the Council. One of the most epic moments of the battle occurred when Earth launched a massive orbital bombardment. A series of warships positioned themselves above a key alien outpost, cloaked from view. The aliens, unaware of the humans' presence, were caught completely off guard when Earth's ships began to unleash a torrent of destruction from the sky. The missiles rained down with precision, striking key targets on the ground, obliterating enemy defenses and leaving the alien forces in disarray. The visual of Earth's warships silhouetted against the backdrop of a fiery explosion was nothing short of cinematic. But the action wasn't confined to space. While Earth's ships rained down destruction from above, ground combat was raging on the surface of the alien planet below. Earth's soldiers, equipped with advanced armor and weapons, stormed alien bases, engaging in intense close-quarters combat. The humans, determined to reclaim their honor, fought fiercely, using everything from hand-to-hand combat to advanced weaponry in a desperate bid to keep the enemy on their heels. The ground battle was brutal. The alien soldiers, though powerful and deadly, were unprepared for the sheer relentlessness of the human soldiers. The humans, though outnumbered, fought with a fire that the aliens couldn't understand. Every human soldier knew that they weren't just fighting for victory, they were fighting for survival. As one human soldier faced off against an alien warrior, there was a moment of clarity: this wasn't just a war of technology, it was a war of willpower. The humans had something that the aliens didn't: the determination to never give up. As the battle raged on, both sides faced heavy losses. The Galactic Council's advanced ships and androids were formidable, but the humans were making them bleed. Each loss for the Council sent a ripple through their ranks. They had underestimated the humans at every turn, and now they were paying the price. For every alien ship destroyed, every android taken down, Earth's forces gained ground. It was a war of attrition, and the humans were proving that they had the resilience to win. The visuals of these epic space battles and ground combat scenes were breathtaking. The explosion of energy from laser fire, the dark vacuum of space filled with burning ships, and the chaos of soldiers fighting for their lives on the ground created a sense of excitement that kept the audience on the edge of their seats. The tension was building to a breaking point. The war was far from over, but one thing was clear: Earth was not going to give up. They were no longer the underdogs, they were a force to be reckoned with. The humans had proven that they could stand toe-to-toe with the Galactic Council, but at what cost? The losses on both sides were mounting, and the war was only escalating. Earth's forces were determined to continue fighting, but the path ahead was uncertain. Would they be able to hold their ground, or would the Galactic Council's relentless power finally crush them? The fate of humanity hung in the balance as the war reached its boiling point. As the dust settled after the orbital bombardment and ground combat, both sides knew that this war was far from over. The humans had proven that they could fight back, but the Galactic Council was far from defeated. The stage was set for an even more intense conflict, and the final battle would determine the future of both humanity and the galaxy itself. As the war between humanity and the Galactic Council intensifies, the cost of conflict begins to take a heavy toll. Humanity's resolve is put to the test as they fight to hold their ground against the overwhelming power of the Council. The war that was once a symbol of hope and resistance for the humans is slowly turning into a heartbreaking struggle, with each victory coming at a great price. One of the most painful losses comes with the death of Bonner, a beloved commander and symbol of human resilience. Bonner had been one of the key leaders in the human resistance, a man whose bravery and leadership had inspired countless soldiers. He was known for his courage in battle, always leading from the front, and never asking his soldiers to do anything he wasn't willing to do himself. His reputation had made him a hero to the humans, and the soldiers who fought under him trusted him with their lives. In the midst of a critical mission, Bonner leads a suicide attack aimed at destroying a massive alien stronghold. The plan is daring and dangerous. If successful, it could cripple the Council's war efforts. But the odds are stacked against them. As Bonner and his team infiltrate the heavily guarded alien base, they find themselves overwhelmed by enemy forces. The battle is fierce, and despite their best efforts, the humans are outnumbered. Bonner's team fights valiantly, but the alien defense proves too strong. During the firefight, Bonner makes the ultimate sacrifice, staying behind to ensure that the rest of his team can complete their mission. His final words, "For Earth," are filled with unwavering determination and love for his people. They resonate not only with the soldiers around him but also with the audience, leaving a lasting emotional impact. Bonner's death sends shockwaves through the human forces. He was more than just a commander, he was a symbol of everything humanity stood for in this war: courage, resilience, and sacrifice. His loss is felt deeply by everyone who knew him. The soldiers who fought beside him feel his absence as a wound that will never fully heal. His death represents the heartbreak of war, the price of freedom, and the human cost of defying the power of the Galactic Council. As the war rages on, the human forces press forward, but the emotional weight of their losses begins to weigh heavily on them. The death of Bonner is just one of many sacrifices that the humans must endure. The soldiers who survive are haunted by the faces of their fallen comrades. The once confident and determined warriors are now tempered by grief, but they are not broken. They fight with even more determination, knowing that the cost of failure is far too high. The visuals of the war shift from the epic space battles and ground combat to more intimate, emotional moments between soldiers and their families. These quiet, heart-wrenching scenes provide a stark contrast to the chaos of battle. The audience is shown the personal side of war, the moments where soldiers write letters to loved ones, record messages for their families, or share a final hug before heading into battle. These moments humanize the soldiers, making the audience care deeply for them as they face the reality of their mission. The juxtaposition of these tender moments with the violent action of the war makes the sacrifices feel even more significant. One scene in particular stands out: a soldier, sitting alone in a small room aboard a warship, holds a photo of his young daughter. He writes her a letter, telling her how much he loves her and how proud he is of her, in case he never comes back. The raw emotion in his voice is palpable, and the audience can feel the weight of the moment. It's a painful reminder that behind every soldier is a family, a loved one waiting for their return. But in the heart of war, they may never come back. As the war drags on, it becomes clear that these personal sacrifices are the fuel that keeps the humans fighting. The death of Bonner and other key soldiers acts as a rallying cry for those who remain. The humans know that they cannot afford to fail. Each battle, each fight, is a chance to honor the memories of those they've lost. The soldiers push forward, carrying the weight of their fallen comrades with them, even as they struggle with their own grief. The emotional toll of the war also begins to show in the faces of the human leadership. The generals and commanders, once filled with confidence, now carry the burden of every life lost on their shoulders. They are haunted by the decisions they've had to make and the lives they've sent to die in battle. But they, too, are resolute. They know that they cannot show weakness. The survival of humanity is at stake, and the sacrifice of their soldiers must not be in vain. The audience is kept engaged as the emotional depth of the story intensifies. The heartbreak of war is not just about the physical destruction and loss of life, it's about the emotional cost. It's about the families torn apart, the soldiers who will never see their homes again, and the dreams of a peaceful future that may never come to pass. Yet, through it all, the humans are determined to continue the fight. They may be broken, but they are not defeated. Bonner's death and the subsequent emotional struggles of the human forces only strengthen their resolve. The tension between the humans and the Galactic Council grows, as each side knows that this war will only end with one victor. And as the humans press forward, they carry with them the memory of their fallen comrades, determined to honor their sacrifice and finish the fight they started. The war may have taken everything from them, but the humans are still standing. And they are ready to do whatever it takes to win. After years of grueling battles, humanity's relentless spirit catches the Galactic Council off guard. The humans, although vastly outnumbered and outgunned, have not given up. Instead, they have used every moment of this war to learn, adapt, and innovate. In a bold move, a team of elite human soldiers is selected for a mission that could change the course of the war. They must infiltrate the heart of the Galactic Council, their command center, where the true power behind the Council's military forces resides. The mission is dangerous and requires a high level of secrecy, skill, and precision. The team's approach is built on a combination of advanced stealth technology and expert hacking skills, making it their best chance to strike at the core of the Council's operations without being detected. The humans know that their survival in this war hinges on gaining access to the Council's AI-controlled systems. If they can exploit even the smallest vulnerability, it could give them a fighting chance to turn the tables on their technologically superior enemies. As the team prepares to infiltrate the Council's command center, the stakes are higher than ever. The Galactic Council's AI system is the backbone of their entire military force, an advanced intelligence that manages everything from the coordination of their fleets to the strategies employed on the battlefield. If the humans can hack into the system, they can disable the Council's ability to communicate and coordinate attacks, throwing their forces into disarray. But this is no easy task. The AI is virtually impenetrable, with multiple layers of security that would make even the most skilled hackers think twice. The elite team, led by Captain Rice, a seasoned veteran, and Leah, a brilliant hacker, begins their infiltration under the cover of darkness. Their first obstacle is the outer perimeter of the Galactic Council's fortress-like command center. Using their cloaking technology, the team slips past the heavily guarded defenses. They move silently through the corridors, avoiding detection by the Council's security systems and sentient sentries. Every step is critical, one wrong move could result in their capture or death. The tension is palpable as they inch closer to their target. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the rest of humanity watches anxiously. The outcome of this mission could decide the future of their species. Their hearts beat in sync with the countdown, each passing second growing more intense. The humans' best hackers are stationed in a command center back on Earth, working tirelessly to monitor the infiltration and provide real-time assistance. They send vital data to Leah, who uses her skills to override alien security systems. The visuals shift between the stealthy movements of the infiltrators in the alien facility and the hackers working at their computers, both groups racing against time. As they reach the core of the Council's AI control room, the tension builds to a boiling point. The room is filled with rows of alien terminals, glowing with bright holographic screens, and the sound of rapid key presses fills the air. The humans know that they are on borrowed time. If they are caught before they can complete their task, they will not only fail the mission but also jeopardize the future of humanity. In a visually stunning moment, Leah manages to breach the AI's first layer of defense. The clock on their mission counts down, with only minutes left before the Council's security system will detect their presence. With each passing second, the stakes grow higher. The Council's military fleets are already mobilizing to retaliate against Earth's forces, and if the humans fail to gain control of the AI, their position will become even more desperate. The countdown echoes in the background, adding to the mounting suspense. Every character feels the weight of their mission, and the audience is pulled into the frantic energy of the moment. The tension is further amplified by the looming possibility of detection, with every noise, every movement being a potential giveaway. The visuals focus on the tiny, meticulous actions of the team, Rice giving orders with quiet intensity, Leah's fingers flying across the keyboard, her face bathed in the glow of the alien technology. As the final seconds tick away, the pressure reaches its peak. In a nerve-wracking sequence, Leah discovers the critical vulnerability in the AI's programming. It is a small flaw in the code, an oversight, perhaps, or a deliberate weakness left behind by a long-forgotten creator. This flaw, while seemingly insignificant, holds the key to disrupting the entire AI system. Leah begins her work to exploit this weakness, her hands shaking with the weight of the task ahead. The visuals shift to show the alien AI's protective algorithms frantically trying to fight back against the breach, as the humans push forward with everything they have. With only seconds remaining, Leah successfully bypasses the AI's final defense and initiates the attack on the system. A surge of tension fills the room as the AI starts to glitch, its control over the Council's fleets and military forces beginning to falter. The feeling of victory is almost tangible, but there's no time to celebrate. The team's presence has been detected, and they must escape before they are caught. The final moments of the infiltration are a blur of action, as the humans race through the facility, fighting off waves of alien soldiers, narrowly escaping the facility's self-destruct sequence. As they make their way back to the extraction point, the audience is left breathless, the intensity of the infiltration still fresh in their minds. The humans have succeeded in their mission, but their survival is far from guaranteed. With the AI now compromised, the tide of war begins to shift, and the Galactic Council realizes that humanity is no longer the underdog they once thought. The visual effects are stunning, with holographic screens flashing as the AI system collapses and the humans' victory is solidified. But as the team boards their escape ship and the mission is declared a success, the audience knows that this is just the beginning of a much larger battle. The Galactic Council will retaliate, and the war is far from over. But in this moment, the humans have proven their resolve and demonstrated that even the most powerful of enemies can be brought to their knees by the ingenuity and determination of Earth's greatest heroes. The stage is set for the final, decisive confrontation. After years of brutal warfare, humanity is ready to make its stand. Armed with the intelligence gathered from their infiltration of the Galactic Council's command center, Earth's forces prepare to launch a full-scale assault on the Council's headquarters, the heart of their military might. This is the moment humanity has been building toward, the culmination of their struggle for survival, respect, and a place in the galaxy. The stakes could not be higher. The humans know that this battle will determine the future of Earth and its people. If they fail, it will not only be the end of their hopes but a victory for the oppressive Galactic Council that has sought to keep them in check. But the humans are resolute. They have defied the odds before, and now, with their newfound strength, they will show the Council that they are not to be underestimated. The battle begins with a massive offensive. Earth's forces, now empowered with the knowledge of the Council's weaknesses, move swiftly and decisively. Armed with weapons and technology previously thought to be out of their reach, the humans strike first. They launch a series of devastating surprise attacks on the Council's fleet. Ships cloaked in invisibility technology make precise, calculated strikes on the enemy's most vulnerable targets. The once feared AI-controlled ships of the Galactic Council are suddenly rendered helpless as Earth's forces disable their systems. The sight of the Council's mighty warships losing their strength and power in the blink of an eye is a shockwave that reverberates across the battlefield. The humans' tactics are unlike anything the Council has encountered. Where the Galactic Council relied on overwhelming power and precision, the humans use their ingenuity and unpredictability. Space dogfights break out in the vastness of space, as Earth's pilots engage in fast-paced, high-octane battles against the Council's formidable fleets. The dogfights are intense and chaotic, filled with flashing lasers, exploding ships, and near misses that keep the audience on the edge of their seats. The humans' warships, once seen as outdated, now prove to be more than a match for the alien technology. As the battle moves to the next phase, the humans launch orbital bombardments. With Earth's warships in place above the Council's headquarters, they unleash a rain of destruction from the skies. The explosions are enormous, lighting up the darkness of space, and the shockwaves rattle the very foundations of the enemy's stronghold. The visuals of the bombardments are breathtaking, as the camera zooms in on the alien headquarters being torn apart. The once imposing structure crumbles beneath the onslaught of humanity's resolve. The destruction is both beautiful and terrifying, a testament to the power that the humans now wield. But the fight is not over yet. The Galactic Council is not going down without a fight. In retaliation, they send their elite forces to the surface to engage Earth's troops in hand-to-hand combat. The humans land on the alien stronghold surface, and the scene shifts to a heart-pounding close-quarters battle. Soldiers fight fiercely in the corridors of the enemy base, each blow struck with deadly intent. The visuals shift from the vast, empty expanse of space to the claustrophobic tightness of the alien base, creating a stark contrast that keeps the tension high. The soldiers, brave and determined, take on wave after wave of alien combatants, showing that despite their inferior numbers, humanity's spirit is unmatched. As the battle rages on, the audience is given a glimpse of the emotional stakes. Earth's soldiers fight not just for survival, but for the legacy of their people and for the future of their children. Every loss feels personal, every victory feels earned. The camera captures close-up shots of soldiers fighting with everything they have, sweat pouring down their faces, blood staining their uniforms, and their eyes burning with determination. Each character's journey has been leading to this moment, and the fight is as much about honoring their fallen comrades as it is about defeating the enemy. Finally, after hours of fierce combat and a series of devastating attacks on the Galactic Council's last defenses, Earth's forces reach the core of the Council's headquarters. In a dramatic, heart-stopping moment, the humans confront the Galactic Council's leadership. The once arrogant alien leaders, who had dismissed humanity as a weak and primitive species, are now at humanity's mercy. The powerful alien council members stand before the humans, their once imposing presence now diminished. There is no escaping the fact that Earth has fought and won, not just in battle, but in the war for respect. The Galactic Council, forced to acknowledge their defeat, has no choice but to surrender. Their fleets are in shambles, their command systems disabled, and their forces decimated. The humans, bloodied and bruised, stand victorious. In a dramatic final moment, Earth's leaders declare the end of the war. The galaxy will no longer look down on humanity. With the surrender of the Galactic Council, Earth earns its place as a true power in the galaxy. The camera pans out to show the Earth in the distance, scarred, but standing strong. The once dominant alien forces are now in retreat, and humanity is left to rebuild, to honor their fallen heroes, and to chart a new course for their future. The final shot is a wide-angle view of Earth's leaders standing together, looking toward the stars, their faces filled with determination and hope. The war is over, but the journey is just beginning. The story ends with a sense of triumph, but also with an acknowledgement of the uncertainty that lies ahead. While Earth has won this battle, the future is still full of challenges. The humans have proven that they are capable of overcoming any obstacle, and as they move forward into the unknown, there is a sense of unity and hope that radiates from their victory. The story closes on a hopeful note, with humanity standing united, ready to face whatever comes next. In the final moments, the words of the story's hero echo in the minds of the audience, "For Earth." A simple phrase, but one that encapsulates the essence of the fight. Humanity fought not just for survival, but for a future worth living.